What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the vlog. For this week, we are taking a trip to Toronto, Canada. Now listen, two things. One, I've never been to Canada in my life. Two, I've never done a voiceover vlog, so we're just gonna roll with it and we're gonna see how this goes. I love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Thank you for being here. Let's get into it. To kick off the trip, my housemate and I took a nice little red eye all the way from Arizona to Minneapolis, and then from Minneapolis to Toronto. To all my Canadian friends out there, I hope I am saying Toronto properly, because for like a week I kept saying Toronto, and apparently it's controversial if you say it wrong. I don't know. Anyways, we got a train from the airport all the way to Union Station, where we then took an Uber to meet up with our friends at the Airbnb we were going to be staying at. Peep the nice little tower you see in all the Toronto postcards. Oh, good to see you. Of course, we had to have a nice little reunion here because we hadn't seen these guys since we went to Dallas and back in less than 12 hours last year. There's a nice little vlog about it on my channel. Of course, I'm going to plug it. Anyway, let's move on. This is the Airbnb we stayed at, and it was absolutely beautiful. Say hi to the vlog.
Hi, vlog.
Come on.
Good to see you, vlog.
Doing it again. A year later.
A
year later. Starting off strong.
Oh, he's
Oh God, one for
maybe not that. Maybe.
No. Wait, what's the window? What's the very fragile?
No, not like that. The twist. Yeah. This man is a crazy man.
Oh God. We had literally just put our bags down and we already popped a bottle of champagne. So if that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to Canada.
To the boys in
Toronto. Now here's where a new addiction set in for me. They took us to Tim Hortons, aka Timmy's. First time, I don't even know what to say. Cheers to Timmy.
Thanks, Tim. Cheers to Tim.
To Tim. Guys, when I tell you we went to Timmy's every single day of this trip, sometimes multiple times. I think every single day was multiple times a day. I'm not joking. We literally did that. Anyways, thus began the walking excursion throughout the city. We ended up at the building where they filmed the show Suits. If you know, you know. Major fanboy moment there. Then we made our way over to like the center area of the city. I saw this ice rink. I thought it was super cool. We'll get to that later. We went and got poutine for the first time in Canada. And let me tell you, guys, chef's kiss. My mouth watering. It was literally so good, and it was from this little food truck. I could talk about it all day. Then we went to this mall. This is like the store where Drake's clothing brand is. I don't know much about it, but we went around there. It was pretty cool. We were really just in there to warm up. That's a little tower at night. I thought it was super cool. We went over to our friend's childhood friend to meet up with her, and this is a place she worked. Guys, it was so freaking cool. Look at the food we ate. I couldn't even tell you what any of this is named. Like, I literally cannot believe this was the start of the trip. We were eating like kings. Shout out to McKenna for bringing us this amazing chocolate dessert that said NAR, because we were with Australians. Now, I'm at a loss for words. This was immaculate. And then we ended up walking and we found this bar called Locals Only, and I saw the sign. I thought it was super cool, so I had to video it, of course. And we ended up in front of a waffle and ice cream parlor. I don't know how that happened, but I was very content with it, and also sad at the same time because they didn't have waffles, but the ice cream was good. And then we went to this other really cool spot. I think we just sat there because it was cold outside, and we ended up dancing on the corner of the street. If you're surprised, you shouldn't be, because this is the vibe of the trip. And we ended the night with, guess, more poutine. Super tasty. All right, day 2, let's get it. Listen, guys, I wasn't joking when I told you we literally went to Tim Hortons every single day of this trip. So you know we had to start the morning off right with a nice little hot chalky and some Timbits from good old Timmy's. We started the morning off strong by putting on our Sunday best, of course, and we got an Uber to church. It was actually such an amazing service, and I ended up running into people I knew from college in Australia, which just blew my mind. We then went to one of the best cafes, guys. I had the best London fog of my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. Then we all had to use the restroom before we left, but there was only one bathroom, and we were high on caffeine, so we ended up dancing in the basement of this cafe.
Hey.
All the girls are needed. I need a big boy. I need a big boy. I need a big boy. Yeah, it's cuffing season. Look at this lock. What is this? What's going on? We then met up with McKenna, who is the local in Toronto. She showed us all of the hot spots. We took a subway over to this place. I don't even know what the name was, but the food was so cheap and it was delicious. Guys, we are massive foodies, and I've never spent so much money on food in my entire life. Also, when it comes to sweets, I'm weak. Like, I've just accepted my fate. I have zero self-control.
Power in the building.
Holly saw this fire over here.
I saw fire.
She said we should go stand by it. It's like an honorary.
Wait,
what is it? What is it?
Eternal Flame of Hope, presented by the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons.
We then made our way to the Scotiabank Arena because the day before we spontaneously bought NBA tickets to see the Toronto Raptors play. And guys, let me just tell you, there was nothing like this experience. The crowd there was absolutely insane, and the atmosphere, oh my gosh. That was Jacques. He was watching an entirely different game on his phone, which I thought was hilarious. And here my friend Alan and I are chanting USA because they're playing a USA team, and the patriotism is ingrained in us. What can we say? I was feeling extra touristy that day, so we made our way over to this tower. I think it's the CEFGH tower. I don't know. Listen, I made a whole little reel about it on my Instagram. Go check it out if you want to see the whole experience. We were way high up. I couldn't even tell you how high. We then met up with our friend Izzy, who I know from college in Australia, who lives in Toronto. She is a local. She showed us around. We ate this amazing ramen. My mouth's watering thinking about it. And then we found this speakeasy on the corner, and it was like an actual barber shop. But it was super cool inside. You had to like stand at the door. You couldn't even knock, and then they would just let you in. I don't know, weird concept, but really cool inside. We then made our way to this wine bar, super vibey. I had literally the best glass of wine. I know I keep saying I've had the best of all these places we've been to, but it's true. And lastly, we ended up at this 1930s bar where they filmed the movie Hairspray, and we had pancakes and waffles at 2 a.m. Oh, and mimosas. All right, you guys, this is the end of part 1 of this vlog. I'm tired. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week for part 2. Stick around, hit the bell notification on my page if you want to get notified when I post, and like and subscribe, okay? Love you. Bye.